Bring them out, bring them out. White Sox wrapping up this 4-game series here against the Minnesota Twins. A win today will win the series, and this is the man you want on the mound, Davis Martin.
Well, he's been very good. He's getting everything over the plate. He's getting ahead of hitters consistently, and he's been good at times in the past. This year he's been great.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Minnesota Twins. It is Byron Buxton led the game off with a home run yesterday. Got to be careful with him. Lee Larnett Clemens, who has been really hot so far this series for the Twins. Bell Arcia, Caratini, Gray, and Ryan Kreidler to start in center.
When Davis Martin perfected that kick change, it gave him enough confidence where now he's been brilliant. The ERA of 2.04, 66 strikeouts, only 12 walks. You can see the command has been outstanding. Hard hit percentage a little higher perhaps than he would like, but he's doing everything right. And here's what he throws. Four-seam fastball 25%, the changeup right behind it at 17, then it's the sinker and the slider both at 16, the cutter at 14, and the curveballs. And the key matchups here this afternoon, Byron Buxton just 1 for 10 against him, but Cody Clemens, who's really been swinging it well in this series against everybody, has swung it very well against Davis Martin. And we'll look at the defense. It's Sam, Tristan, Enrico left to right in the outfield with Miguel, Colson, Chase, and Mutataka. Edgar Caro's got the plate for the second time in as many days.
All right, we are ready for baseball. Davis Martin set on the mound. Fires into Byron Buxton, missing outside, ball 1.
The weather bug is presented by Four Seasons Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 67 degrees, humidity at 62%. The wind is a factor. Left to right at this point.
How fortunate have we been with this weather here in Chicago?
Talked to Roger Bosser before the game, and he said, think back, how many homestands have you remembered where there was no rain whatsoever? I couldn't remember any, but he would, because he's the sod father.
Byron Buxton has been incredible this season, but especially this series. Started off the game yesterday with a home run.
Got a double. He's driven in a run and scored 2. And you keep him off base, you beat the Twins.
Got him swinging. Good start for Davis Martin.
Davis uses 6 different pitches. Now they're modifications of the original. There's a little slider. You see the dot at the back of the baseball, shows you it's a slider, and completely fools Buxton.
Here is Brooks Lee. He has been an important piece to this Twins roster. And defensively was not the best to start the season at shortstop. And when they made some moves, he has now taken over at third base going forward.
Well, you're right. He is a much better positioned player at third. Third is a reaction position. It's one step to either side mostly. Shortstop, you got to have some range. You have to have some speed unless the positioning is excellent. And Lee has really taken over third base and made it his own. Jeremy Rehak behind the plate this afternoon. Calls strikes 7% above major league average, down to right-hand hitters.
Davis Martin ahead in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Lee had been at shortstop since last July with the trade of Carlos Correa.
Well, the big man is Royce Lewis going down to the minor leagues.
Yep.
He's pounding the baseball, but he gave up third base.
Chopper to the right side, charging is Maedroff. The flip to first as Davis Martin has retired the first 2 batters to start this game. How about the pitching performances we have seen so far this series? Anthony Kay was outstanding. He went 6. Sean Burke followed it up with 7. And then we've talked about the man last night, David Sandlin, what he did on the mound for the White Sox.
You protect your bullpen when your starters can go out there and get you at least 18 outs.
Steve, it's been something to watch, this rotation.
Pretty impressive, and the ace goes to the mound today.
Think about this stretch. This is game 7 of 13 games in a row. And the starters understand that. They have been stepping up trying to protect the bullpen.
Well, that's exactly what Will said before the game. And he said, look, if my guys can get into the later innings, it really protects the pen. And then you have the pen to line to exactly how you need them in a winning game. Because there are guys that are part of the winning bullpen. The winning bullpen not necessarily means you're going to win the game. It just means if you have the lead or tied late, you go to a certain amount of guys. If you're not, you go to other guys. But keeping the late relievers good is important.
Bouncer up the middle. Colson Montgomery makes the play. A 1-2-3 first inning for Davis Martin. Take a look at the starting lineup. Now the White Sox had to scramble because there was a late scratch to the starter. It was supposed to be a lefty on the mound for the Twins. Now it's going to be a righty, so this is the normal lineup that we see from the White Sox. Antonacci, Murakami, Vargas, Montgomery, and Edgar Quero, his second start in a row behind the plate.
There's a look at Woods Richardson, who is an emergency starter. However, this is his 10th start, but he hasn't started in a couple of weeks. 45 innings, the ERA inflated at 7.20. And this is how he uses his stuff. The four-seamer backed up by the splitter, the slider, and very few curves.
So originally it was supposed to be Taj Bradley, but they gave him an extra day's rest. He's going to go tomorrow to start the series against Pittsburgh for Minnesota. Then it was Kendry Rojas to make his second start of the season. But then before the game, it was a late scratch due to posterior elbow soreness, and that's why they give the ball to Simeon Woods Richardson.
And Rojas is really a clone of another left-hand pitcher that came out of Cuba. And so with an elbow problem, that's a problem for him. He's got a good hard slider, but unfortunately every time you see that, you think about Aroldis Chapman. He was the guy that he patterned himself after, who's got a really great slider, a really hard slider. I mean, at one point he threw 104, 105. But Rojas is hurt.
That one missing to Antonacci. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When you see the delivery for Aroldis Chapman, one of the strongest leg drives in the game, that's how he stays healthy.
That's a good splitter. Fortunately, it was down.
2-2 pitch to Antonacci. It was originally going to be Mydroff leading off in the batting order against the lefty, but with the righty on the mound, it's now Antonacci back at the top.
Having quite a series at 5 for 12, and he's driven in 3.
3-2 pitch. Got it by him. Strike 3. It's time for our lines to watch, presented by Circus Sports. Let's see who will hit a home run today. Steve, who do you like?
Well, I think if you pick Mooney every day, you're in pretty good shape, but not today. Not that he won't hit it, but we won't pick him because he's not the value play. The value play, I got to believe Vargas is going to run into one.
What an impressive run that Munetaka Murakami is on. He has homered in the first 3 games of this series. Now 20 home runs on the season, as he is tied with Yordan Alvarez for second most in Major League Baseball, still trailing Kyle Schwarber with 21. Third time he's already done that this year.
Schwarber is amazing because of his age. I mean, he keeps getting older and doesn't lose any bat speed, which is really interesting.
Murakami behind in the count. And goes down swinging. Now all the White Sox hitters go through a hitters meeting before the game in preparation for a starter. But the hitters meeting happened before the switch was made, as the White Sox hitters were preparing for Rojas, not Woods Richardson.
Well, they have seen him in this series, and that certainly helps. But the splitter is pretty good today.
A couple of strikeouts to start this bottom of the first inning. And strike 1 here to Miguel Vargas.
That fastball is not overwhelming. It's 93, 94. However, when you're using the splitter and you're using that breaking ball that he does, fastball looks a whole lot better.
Oh, 2 pitch. What an offensive performance last night. 18 hits, 15 runs driven in by the White Sox. And a chance to win this series in the finale here, game 4 today. Did he go around? He did not. That was Dan Iasonia on the call at first.
We'll watch it again. And it is a borderline call. It goes Miguel's way.
Two. Woods Richardson tapped his chest because he kind of yanked that one. Said, my bad.
He was aiming for the outside corner, wanted a fastball there after throwing the breaking ball, but held on to it a little too long.
So Miguel Vargas works a 2-out walk, and that Sox walk is brought to you by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game. I know you've loved what Colson Montgomery has been doing these last few games. Really putting the bat to the ball and starting to drive pitches now.
Well, also on both sides of the ball. He's played a great shortstop. Last night he was at third base. So he's doing about everything right.
Vargas takes off the throw to second. And Gray was unable to squeeze the baseball, so a stolen base for Vargas.
Vargas has been very effective stealing bases, and you don't usually associate a guy with some power with a guy with some speed. But that's exactly what happened. He's off to the races, and the Twins are doing what a lot of teams are doing these days. They're not looking at first base. The 9th steal. He's yet to be caught.
And this one's ripped into right center field. Vargas, he'll be waved in, and the Sox strike first. Colson Montgomery, an RBI single.
There's the breaking ball, and it stays up. Colson able to take it right back through the middle. He's now driven in 34. And he drives it by Arcia, who has no chance for it. The stolen base turns into gold, and the Sox have a lead.
Will Venable told us before the game he's putting a lot of trust in base runners right now. As my drop. This one is gloved by Arcia from the grass, makes the play to end this first inning. But a stolen base leads to the run driven in. White Sox lead it 1-0. This inning is brought to you by Wintrust. White Sox manufacturing a run as Davis Martin back to the bump. A strikeout and a couple ground outs in the first inning. He faces a red-hot Cody Clemens, who over his last 15 games, he's hitting .305 at the plate.
This series, he's hit the ball hard. 2 hits, but they're both for extra bases.
Foul back, and that one just to the left of our booth.
Sox starters have been overwhelming. Those are pretty good numbers. 32 of 33.
Vargas placed perfectly. And one down to start this second inning. Let's go to Connor for some news and notes.
Shohei Ohtani hit a leadoff homer for the Dodgers last night, then threw 6 shutout innings. Nobody's ever done both those things. Shohei did them both last night in one game. It's crazy. The Yankees are chasing the Rays in the East. Garrett Cole, another good one, back off the injured list. Yordan Alvarez has 5 homers in his last 3 games, back-to-back games with 2 home runs. Can the Astros make up ground in the West? And if not, guys, Would they trade Alvarez?
When he is healthy, he is one of the most destructive hitters in the game. It'll be a very interesting trade deadline this season with some contracts expiring. Who's going to be buyers? Who's going to be sellers? That's the fun of the deadline.
Well, to give you an idea of the AL West, the Mariners lead, and they're 28 and 29. That means Houston is still in the race. They're just 3 games back. So right now they're not thinking about trading everybody. They're thinking about getting back in the race, staying there, getting to the postseason with the guys they have, and maybe adding at the break. It's all going to depend on if somebody can run away. The Athletics just gave up the lead. They're a half game back.
Peel to third. That is Jen Powell on the call, as Bell did not go around there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looking for his first hit this series. And a challenge from Edgar Caro.
The pitch was rolled a ball. The catcher is challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Our first challenge today.
Got a piece. Just barely a piece.
The batter's out. Chicago has 2 challenges remaining.
Our guy Edgar Caro.
It's not surprising that the catchers, they just have the best look at it. So they have a lead as far as who's asking for challenges.
Also, as everyone's still figuring out this ABS system, the White Sox have repeatedly told all their catchers, especially Edgar Caro, just keep firing away. It doesn't matter what your percentage is. We just want to get the most calls overturned. In the air to right field, it is Nishida backing up. 6 up, 6 down for Davis Martin to start this game. Is a proud partner of the 2026 White Sox. The Rate app gives Chicago fans an all-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today. When the White Sox play like they did last night, a 15-2 win. Not much stress here on the south side. It was so enjoyable to watch. Everyone getting in on the action.
Took them a long time in that game to hit a home run. They scored a lot of runs without hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Now, this team has power. A radical departure from recent years past for the Sox. But this team can also play like the go-go 59 White Sox.
That one is smoked, and it's a fair ball down the right field line. Peters, he's digging for second as Clemens plays it off the side wall. A leadoff double here in the bottom of the second.
We'll take another look as he drills it down the line. Woods Richardson gets it out over the plate, and Peters, who wasn't supposed to play, finds himself with a 2-base hit. And this double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year 200,000-mile double warranty.
Isn't it funny how that works? When guys aren't scheduled to play, sometimes they come out and have the biggest games.
Well, you're going to get yourself prepped anyway, because as a member of a very productive bench for the Sox, you know eventually you're probably going to get in that day. And Randall Grichuk had a big night last night.
Oh, Grichuk has to watch out for that high heat.
He does the right thing, and for you young hitters out there, you always turn back toward the catcher. Maybe you catch it then off the upper part of your arm, but you keep it away from your head by doing that.
Randall Grichuk told Will Venable something about that home run by Murakami last night. When Murakami went the other way about 4:30, he said, that was not just a bomb. That was a bomb even for a right-handed hitter to hit that into left field. He was so amazed with the power that he's seen from Murakami.
Well, there's no doubt he's able to hit the ball with enough backspin so it doesn't come down. And that's a product of a lot of of these power hitters coming from Japan. It's also something Ichiro could do.
It's this one high in the air to right field as Clemens waits on it. Peters tagging from second. He will advance to third with one out here in this second inning. Let's go to Brooke.
Well, John, it's the end of May and now marks back-to-back months where the White Sox have finished at or above 500. And Will Venable attests that just to the new standard that's set in this clubhouse. And it's a sign that this team is trending in the right direction. He loves the identity that this team is forming. He said, listen, we have this unexpected power, but this team is finding other ways to win. Now, looking ahead, he said we got to be more consistent, continue with situational hitting, grow on the base pass, and just be competitive in the zone, guys. But he's happy with where this group's at right now.
There is no doubt that the floor has been raised with this 2026 White Sox team.
What Will wanted to do, starting with spring training, was explain to them there's a lot of ways to win baseball games. You can certainly win slugging. I mean, you win a lot of games that way. You win manufacturing runs, and sometimes you win on defense. He just wants to mold them into a team that can win a number of different ways.
Infield is in for Riku Nishida. This is his third start here in Major League Baseball.
All he's got to do is tap it through the left side. Adam Beck would be the closest to it, but you've got Gray playing up the middle.
Nishida does have a hit in each of his first two games. He has also thrown out a runner at home plate from right field in each of his first two games.
No, pretty amazing, actually. There's some guys, if they do it once in a year, that's good. He's played twice. He's done it twice.
Looking for his first big league RBI. And he will use his time behind in the count. How about the debuts we have seen this week? Nishida debuting here against the Twins. David Sandlin debuting last night.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons for a lot of debuts, unfortunately, is the fact that there's been a lot of injuries. But if you have a deep system, and the Sox do, you're able to play over that.
He's a guy who's not going to hit for a ton of power, but he is a guy who has continued to hit at every single level that he has played. One ball, two strikes. It's also a great example of it doesn't matter where you rank in terms of a prospect list, or if you're a high school kid, if you're on a radar for college. If you continue to grind and you believe in yourself, you can accomplish things in this game. 1-2. Bouncer up the middle, coming home with it. And they got Peters at the plate. The throw coming from Gray.
No chance at all. It was a contact play. I mean, any kind of contact you're running, but Caratini gets a glove on him, and turns out to be a decent throw by Gray, even though it's on the first base side of the plate. He had plenty of time to get the job done.
Edgar Caro stepping in now, hitting in the 9-hole for the White Sox.
One of the things Nishida does very well is steal bases. I'm sure they got him up to date on the move of Woods Richardson to first, and he's got a huge lead at first base.
Edgar Caro was 2 for 3 in the game last night, picking up an RBI, and the hitting staff really pushed for him to have another start here today, feeling like he is in a really good direction with his swing at the plate. Two.
Nishida just testing the lead that time. Tried to get off to a good start.
2 outs here in the second inning with a runner on at first. Slide step by Woods Richardson as the ball sails wide. Ball 2. Speed puts pressure on the pitching as Woods Richardson trying to be quick to the plate. And that will stay in the glove of Caratini for strike 3. After 2, White Sox lead at 1-0. Is brought to you by Hyundai. White Sox with a 1-0 lead over the Twins. Welcome back in the booth. Steve Stone, John Schriffen. Well, we've seen the hitters now collectively come together and really explode as a group. Now the starting pitchers are starting to feed off each other. Starters have retired 35 of the last 36 they have faced.
And today Davis Martin is being Davis Martin. His 2 innings where he's been spotless, and you'd expect nothing less from him because he is the ace of the staff, and he's been brilliant this year.
Key for him and the rest of these starters firing in that first pitch strike, as he does here to start the 3rd.
Strike 1 makes a huge difference in the at bat. It means that the hitter is going to have to protect a little earlier than he would like. Ball 1, and he's in command of the at bat.
Just nasty stuff as Caratini swings over the top of that one.
That was a kick change again, which hitters just can't read. Their eyes identify a fastball, and then it dips out of the zone. Grady Sizemore with the pick at first base. Former White Sox manager for a short period of time, but a wonderful man. And was a great center fielder.
There's Grady with the shades on. One-two pitch for Martin. He has been on some kind of run this season, as the White Sox have won each of his last 7 starts on the mound. There's just a different level of confidence when he gets the ball.
What he's been able to do also was win a game after a loss. And when you do that consistently, you become what's known as the stopper. And he's been all of that this year.
Two. Bouncer to first. Murakami keeps it himself. White Sox fans, join us at the ballpark for City Connect Fridays. You can catch the team in the iconic uniforms every Friday night and shop the full collection at the team store. For more information, head to thewhitesox.com/city.
And there it is. And a good looking uni it is.
Tristan Gray swings over the top of that one. He was the guy who made the play at short to cut down the run at home, keeping this a 1-0 lead for the White Sox. Ground ball. And the first hit of the game for the Twins comes with 1 out here in the 3rd inning.
Tomorrow, Friday Night All Access returns to the CHSN as the White Sox take on another AL Central foe in the Tigers. Get closer to the game with mic'd up moments, in-game interviews, and more all night long. Stream it live on the CHSN app. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
One of my favorite parts of Friday Night All Access is either players or coaches wearing the mic for us all night long. And tomorrow night, it'll be Chase Mydroth who will be mic'd up for us.
We've had some really great quotes, great action, great explanations from Jersley at third base. That was a really good one, explaining the responsibilities of a third base coach and then illustrating it. You get to learn a lot that you wouldn't ordinarily know without All Access. Ooh, and that one got a good piece of Edgar. So with that in mind, Jeremy Rehak will walk to the mound to hand Davis Martin the ball. Not because he necessarily likes Davis Martin, but he can relate to catching one in the stomach.
Bottom of the order is Ryan Kreidler. As Davis Martin looking to put him away. 0-2.
Kreidler was a premier prospect with the Tigers. I remember the Tigers thinking that he was probably going to be their shortstop of the future. And then Javi Baez became a free agent and all things changed. The Twins now figuring that they got a valuable player and a guy who can play center field where he's playing today.
Good pitch from Davis Martin. Picks up his 3rd strikeout.
This is just a perfect pitch. You get Kreidler looking for the breaking ball, and he got the express. It had most of the plate in a perfect spot.
Top of the order is Byron Buxton. Buxton hit home run number 17 last night, and now coming into play today on pace for 49 home runs in 136 games. Now that would shatter his career highs. His career high of home runs was 35 he hit last year. And the highs for him in terms of games played is 140 in 2017.
Well, they did something they hadn't done with him because he's such a wonderful center fielder. Last year, to keep him on the field, they used him as a DH a lot. And that's where the Sox have been going. When they want to throw him a fastball, more times than not, they're going inside on him. But it's been that hard cutter that has confused Buxton in this at bat.
So far 3 swing and misses today for Buxton against Davis Martin. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Runner goes. And it goes off the glove of Caro as Gray stands on second.
That's the first attempt for Gray this year at stealing a base. He was successful. And Derek Shelton guessed right. He guessed the put-away pitch would be another one of those breaking balls, and not much of a chance on that for Edgar. There's a look at the former Twins bench coach and former Pittsburgh manager. I think it's interesting what Derek Shelton said. He said, you know, the first time I managed, he said, especially the first year, I didn't know a great deal about how things were going on and what I should do and what I shouldn't do. He said, now I realize that not only me, but my coaching staff has got to pay attention to every detail.
As that one misses, ball 4 to Byron Buxton. And part of the detail that Derek Shelton talked about is also communicating with players. When you're going to make a change, especially with Brooks Lee, who's now stepping up, shifting him from short to third, talking the young player through what your thinking is so he understands why he's making that move.
Well, it's worked out very well for Lee because I don't think they're going to move him. Even when Lewis comes back, they're going to probably try to find a place because Lewis isn't near the defensive player that Lee is.
It's something we've talked about with Will Venable when a starter and he uses an opener for him, or even a position player. They just want clear communication and understanding of what their role is going to be.
That one I think got a piece of Lee, and he'll try to walk it off. Yeah, different type of communication than years past. Remember one manager saying, I'm going to tell you your role. I'm going to give you the ball. You get people out. Then I'm going to take away the ball, and the bullpen will get people out. That's your role.
And you'll like it.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. And also the difference with a lot of guys in the multi-year contracts. When you're on a one-year contract, you really had to go out there and play, and many times you were not even close to 100%. But if you didn't play this year, you weren't going to get paid next year.
Tapper to the left side, and as Vargas off the big hop, gets rid of it quickly. Davis Martin through 3. Reggaeton music fans, join us at the ballpark tomorrow, May 29th, for Reggaeton Night as the Sox take on the Tigers at 6:40 p.m. You can get access to a pre-game patio party with an all-you-can-eat and drink and a live DJ when you purchase a specially priced ticket. Now, there is limited availability, so to purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos. The patio will be jumping tomorrow night for Reggaeton Night. Drinks will be flowing, food will be plentiful.
And speaking of the patio, that's Bobby Bertucci and the boys, and they brought us up some cheeseburgers before the game today. Exceptional cheeseburgers. Half the crew is asleep, but they were really good.
Not just any cheeseburgers.
No,
we're talking double cheeseburgers.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
With the cheese just oozing out of the bun.
You can also get great chicken there, and the Bertucci's do just a wonderful job.
Producer Mark Brady says, don't forget about the onion rings.
There you go.
Second time up for Sam Antonacci. Went down swinging to start.
One thing we do have here is outstanding food just about everywhere.
The key is bring a lot of napkins. Lifted in the air to left field as Larnach trots in. He makes the catch to start this bottom of the third. Let's go to Brooke.
Guys, we love Kenzo Yagi, Mooney's translator, and he told me he's really trying to learn the game of baseball and find more ways he can help Mooney adjust over here. And one of the ways he's actually been doing that, playing MLB The Show. He said reading reports and books can get repetitive, and the game's actually helped him learn players, hot zones, pitch types, tendencies, and even defensive positioning a lot quicker. He said when they go through lineups and scouting reports now, he already has a better feel for the information because he's seen a lot of it through the game. Now, he said Mooney's not really a gamer himself, but it's definitely been helpful. And when I asked who's the toughest pitcher he's faced in the game so far, he said Paul Skeens, and I think that tracks.
I would say so. This one fouled away down the left field line. After this at bat, I want to get into Kenzo a little more. His story of how he became a translator for Murakami is fascinating. Was never even involved in the game of baseball before this season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big swing and a miss.
There's another guy besides Paul Skeens who obviously is a wonderful pitcher. But the Yankees have one that's probably outdoing Skeens, Cam Schlittler. Unbelievable this year. He's been close to unhittable for everybody.
1-2. Murakami showing patience at the plate as he works the count to full here against Simeon Woods Richardson.
There was a lot of guys that would be on the bench right now with the strikeout over that last pitch. Great eye by Murakami.
Back-to-back full counts worked by the White Sox to start this home half of the third. As the Twins starter getting set to throw his 50th pitch of the ball game.
And after being recently in the bullpen, we saw him out of the bullpen in this series. You wonder how many pitches he's got in him.
Good battle here as Murakami trying to cut down on his swing and miss. Eighth pitch of the at bat. And he works a walk. All right, so the Kenzo story is just fascinating. So for the past 4 years, he was living in Germany, working for an e-commerce company, and he was a VP of the company handling their business. Well, he had an employee who was working underneath him who said, hey, I heard about this job opportunity back home from my former high school baseball coach in Japan, where there's a player from an agency, we don't know who the player is, who's looking for an interpreter going over to Major League Baseball. He said, I can't do it because I have a family. I can't uproot my life. But you're a single guy. Would you be interested? He said, sure. I mean, I've never been an interpreter
The pitcher's
before.
the ball. The catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. As we take a look at the last pitch to Vargas.
The call is overturned. Minnesota has 1 challenge remaining.
So the count is now 0-1 here to start off to Vargas. And so Kenzo's name got put in the mix for the agency for Murakami as to who the potential interpreter would be. 0-1, and it's fouled away. But he said, I was so down on the list. I was the backup to the backup to the backup. I never thought I even had a chance. Well, it turns out as the rounds went on and the phone conversations with his agency went on, actually eventually got an in-person meeting for dinner with Murakami. That's when he found out who the player even was, and they hit it off immediately. 0-2 to Vargas. He said, but I got a little too familiar with him, and he said I wasn't as professional as I thought I could be, and he said I thought I might have lost the job over that interview for dinner, and I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. Well, he finally got the call and said, yeah, you're the guy, we're going to pick you, congratulations, you're the new interpreter here for Murakami.
Worked out pretty well for both, I believe.
Vargas goes down swinging for out number 2. Well, when he got the call, he now had to call his e-commerce company and say, hey, by the way, I just got this opportunity. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to quit and uproot my life because I have to take this once in a lifetime chance to go in Major League Baseball.
Well, think about it. I mean, he's in a major league dugout. He travels in the major league way, which is first class all the way everywhere. And it's a wonderful experience. Doesn't matter how long he does it, but it's a wonderful experience, and you have to really trust that man implicitly, and it helps if they are or become a friend of yours.
The agency for Murakami also loved Kenzo because of his business background, that it's not just handling interview requests, he can also handle business requests as well and really help grow the profile of Murakami here in the United States. Two outs. Colson Montgomery now at the plate. Hits this one hard into right field. Murakami takes a peek. He will shut it down at second. And a couple base runners here in the third with 2 outs.
2 for 2 for Montgomery, who was really starting to heat it up. It's a splitter, and you can hang a splitter just like you can hang any other pitch. That one didn't go straight down, which is designed to do. Montgomery takes it into right field. And so I talked with him before the game about how he's gotten better against left-handers. He said it wasn't really any physical changes. He just said, if you think to yourself, oh, there's a left-hander out there, that's a problem. If you go up there with the idea, oh, I'm really happy a left-hander's out there because I can hit these guys, he says that's how you get better hitting those guys. He said, so basically it's more mental than it is physical, and we've seen a radical change in him from when he first came up against lefties to what he's doing now. But it's been a righty 2 for 2 today. So when he starts heating it up, and Will talked about this before the game, he goes, you know, he goes a couple of games without hitting, you say, oh boy, he's really fought. Oh, wait a second, now he starts hitting the ball again. So they're not worried about anything he's been doing.
You've always said how much of this game is mental, how your career flourished in that 1980 season when you changed something in your mind.
Yeah, it was the middle of '79, and I just wasn't happy with what had happened, and I thought there was a better pitcher in there somehow, and I couldn't get bigger, stronger, faster, or quicker, but I knew that I could use my mind to help me, and I think the players are doing the same thing, and teams are starting to recognize it because every team has 1 or 2 mental guys. I think it's 75% mental. Everybody has a different percentage, but it's a long season. It really is a grind, and the physical aspect is certainly always there, but it's your mind that drives your body. Not your body really that drives your mind. And so with the teams understanding that now and realizing that these guys have a lot of pressures on and off the field, they get these guys if they have any problems. They have open door policies, and they talk about it all the time, and it really helps a lot of guys.
A walk to Mydroth will load the bases with 2 outs.
Morris is loosening up in the bullpen as Pete Mackey comes out. We've seen Morris in this series. Of course, in a 4-game series, you see most of the pen. It's just slowing him down, and this is more for Morris's benefit than it is for Woods Richardson. He wants to make sure, probably he wants to buy as many pitches as possible and wait for Jeremy Rehack to come out and tell him, let's get on with this.
You know, just wrapping up that thought, you were talking about changing your mind. And this month is ending. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think it's very important that anyone who is going through anything in their life right now understand that things are never as bad as you think that they are. And if you need help, reach out to somebody. It is very important to get the help that you need, because there are resources and people that do care about you.
And they're getting better.
_25th pitch this inning for Woods Richardson, and it misses ball 1 to Tristan Peters. White Sox have been patient here in this third, drawing 2 walks. A walk to Murakami, single to Montgomery, and a walk to Mydroth to load the bases. And now Peters behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Little breaking ball that caught the strike zone.
In on the hands, fought off. Gray on the move, the throw to first, not in time, and the run will score. Great hustle by Tristan Peters down the line as the Sox take a 2-0 lead.
2 for 2 for Peters, and he drives in his 13th run of the year. This is actually a pretty good pitch, and he doesn't get a whole lot of it, but because of the defense and where it's situated, there's nobody there at almost straightaway shortstop. So an inside-out swing, and then Tristan is off to the races. He knows if he can beat this play, it's a run batted in, and he beats the play whether he catches it or not. You can see he gets down there in a hurry. He would have been safe. Bill does a nice job of knocking it down. Bases remain loaded, and it's another run.
So an RBI single for Peters. And the power of Randall Grichuk stepping in. Grichuk flew out to right his first time up today. Inside out swing down the line, and it's a fair ball. Montgomery scores. Here comes Mydroth. They're waving in the third. Peters, no throw. A bases clearing double for Randall Grichuk as the White Sox open it up here in this third inning.
That's 15 driven in for Grichuk, and what a 24-hour period for him. He just takes this one, as you can see, it is inside out, and takes it down the line, and that double's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty that clears the bases. That ends the day of Woods Richardson and the Sox with a big 5-run lead. So as he walks off, we'll step out and we'll be back to an electric ballpark.
And GovX are proud to honor our hero of the game. Today we pay tribute to Master at Arms Petty Officer Second Class Brody Lindstrom of the United States Navy.
We always love our GovX hero of the game. So a new pitcher on the mound facing Riku Nishida. And all this damage coming with 2 outs.
A couple of walks opened the door. And the Sox went storming through. So Andrew Morris on for the 16th time. ERA about 4.5.
You know, Brooke had a great report earlier in this game about how a new identity has formed with this team. And it's not just the home runs. Will Venable reinforcing situational hitting, small ball. And they've scored 5 more runs today without a home run so far.
Well, that happened most of the night last night until the 2 bombs late that came in the 7th inning. But until then, there was a whole lot of runs on singles, doubles, walks, stolen bases. And that's the way this team is formed. And they laid the groundwork in spring training. There's a lot of young guys on this team. And there's a couple of veterans that are helped leading the way. Randall Grichuk, great addition, one of those guys. Andrew Benintendi, another one of those guys.
And all 5 runs have been scored with 2 outs today. There is Grichuk standing on second with the shorts above his knees. Now, you dress however you want as long as you keep producing like he's doing. Nishida watching that one all the way. Ball 2.
Sox, and that's a run differential. It's the first time since opening day, when they did score the first run of the game, that they are, well, on the iPad it's in the green. They've been in the red just about all season long until just now.
So many new faces, but Will Venable keeping things moving in a positive direction this season. 3-2. Nishida will ground this one to Gray at short. And the throw is in time. White Sox put up 4 runs in this third and lead it 5-0.
On the Twins, 5-0 in the 4th. Davis Martin has been the ace of this rotation for some time now. But let's take a look at just the increases that he's made from last year to this year. The numbers themselves, a 28% whip percentage, a 27% K percentage, solid. But the increases from year to year, guys, some of the top movements in all of baseball, making him one of the best starters in the game right now.
Loving what he is doing as Vargas calls for that pop-up. 1 out to start this 4th inning.
Much easier play for Vargas than anybody else. Although Davis Martin was there in case nobody was around, he was going to make sure that when you make a good enough pitch to retire a hitter, he stays retired.
Now, this is coming off his last start on Friday in San Francisco, where he gave up a season-high 4 runs over 5 2/3. But we're just seeing how he is developing, able to bounce back nicely here in his next outing today.
Well, I think the fact that he's taken the ball consistently and he's made every start he's supposed to make, that factored into determination for Will to push him back a day. And they put Sandlin in yesterday because he was given an extra day on the day that he was supposed to pitch, and the same thing with Martin. So you get a little stronger. It'll help you later in the season. And right now, the starting rotation has been brilliant, and the bullpen has been right there for them.
Top of the 4th, this half inning is brought to you by Toyota. It was a very lengthy bottom of the 3rd, 21 minutes. So it was about 23 minutes between when Davis Martin threw his last pitch. Bare hands off his back foot. You gotta be kidding me. Davis Martin's on another level right now.
That's just an outstanding play because he only had one play. You can't leave this to Vargas because he's not going to get him out. Bare hand, spin around, and almost a 180 as he gets it to first right on the button. That's just a big effort. Great play by Martin.
You know, we see how athletic he is pre-game when he's warming up with the football, running routes, throwing with the other pitchers. And he just proved it there, hopping off the mound to make that barehanded play. And it's funny because the football you see has the logo of Texas Tech on it, his alma mater. So that is his football that all the guys are throwing around. Josh Bell comes up empty on that fastball upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. He's also settling into a rhythm quicker into ball games, I'm noticing this year for Davis Martin.
Well, he's also in the stretch, and I think simplicity of motion makes it repeatable, because obviously he's been repeatable with just about everything this year.
Three-two. Take a seat. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Davis Martin. He's given up just 1 hit today. Welcome back. Bottom of the 4th we go. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. A 5-0 lead for the White Sox for Davis Martin on the mound. Putting together another stellar performance through 4. I asked Derek Showman, the hitting coach for the White Sox, before the game, what has he seen from Edgar Caro, and he said he's just finding the barrel to the ball a little more consistently now. That's why they really pushed to have him start another game here today. He's just starting to put together, understand his swing, trying to get on track here this season.
Well, you're going to get 8 or 9 at bats in the situation where you play a night game and a day game, and you're going to do it in 24 hours. So it's going to really help your stroke. It's going to help your rhythm. That's why Edgar is in there today.
That was held on by Caratini, so a strikeout to start this bottom of the 4th. Grab your friends and head to the park for Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. You get 1 ticket and 2 beers starting at $24. Now you must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. We saw the White Sox bats break out last night for 15 runs, and when I spoke with Derek Showman, he said the key for him taking over in his first year as the hitting coach, getting these guys to trust him. That's the hardest thing that you can do, and he said to build that trust, he had to go and do a lot of Zoom meetings with these guys, visit them in their personal camps in the offseason, and go out with them throughout the season to really get to know them as people, so that when he makes a suggestion about their swing, they trust him that he knows what he's doing.
And there's another factor that really hasn't happened a whole lot up until the last few years. Just about each and every one of these guys has their own personal swing coach, and you've got to find out what the swing coach is talking to the player about. Then you talk, so it becomes a 3-way conversation as opposed to what it used to be, the 2-way conversation.
And on the hands, fought off, and it's going to drop into center field. Sam Antonacci picking up his first hit today.
Doesn't get the good part of the bat on it, but still able to muscle it into center field. So no chance at all for Gray. Sam's aboard.
Ordinarily, as a hitting coach, you have obviously different guys, different personalities to deal with and to learn them. But this team, this is unique. There are so many different personalities on this squad. Derek Showman has really done an incredible job making them feel comfortable.
One of the reasons why this is going to be, and it's been at times early in the season, it'll be better later in the season also, it's going to be difficult to pitch to because you have a lot of just contact hitters, and then you got the bombers usually at 2, 3, and 4.
That one gets away as Antonacci, he will scoot to second.
We'll take another look. It's probably going to be E1. Bell had to backhand and stretch over Antonacci and couldn't corral it.
It is indeed E1. As a runner in scoring position for Murakami now. He is looking to become the 4th rookie in Major League Baseball history to homer in each game in this at least 4-game series. Home run for Murakami Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Two. Pokes this one in the air to left field, and it's going to drop. Gray can't get there. Antonacci rounds third. He scores as Murakami makes this a 6-0 White Sox lead.
Tough play to make because Larnach has to play him deep in left field. We saw that last night when he took one out and straightaway left. And so with Larnach back and Gray playing up the middle, Antonacci trying to read it, he realized it gets away and he's off to the races to score easily. That's a very tough play. It landed right in between both, and it's run batted in number 41. That double's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty.
.97-mile-per-hour fastball by Vargas for strike one. Well, Steve, we've talked about different ways to get it done, and both hits this inning an exit velocity of 70 miles per hour. Just poke it out there and find a piece of grass.
That's good. Wouldn't even get you a speeding ticket in most places.
Oh, 2. Fastball caught Vargas looking, strike 3. Colson Montgomery had 2 hits on Tuesday, had 2 hits on Wednesday, and now 2 more hits here on Thursday.
He's starting to heat it up. Sox have a very tough stretch coming up. Detroit comes to town, and then they go to Minnesota. That's not the tough part. Then it's 3 in Philadelphia, and the Phillies are starting to play pretty decent baseball. They can hit. Then back here home, it's Atlanta, the Dodgers, and then off to New York. That is a tough couple of weeks, but this team is starting to play their best baseball of the year.
The good thing about that Phillies series is that there are a couple off days sandwiching that Phillies series, so the White Sox can regroup after this brutal 13 games in a row stretch.
That's why long performances out of the starters are essential when you are not getting any days off. You don't want to decimate your bullpen, and that can happen pretty early if you have a couple of early exits from your starters. Davis hasn't had a whole lot of early exits.
Montgomery swings through that fastball to end this 4th inning. Sox get another run, lead at 6-0. Lead for the White Sox as we start this top of the 5th. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. That's one way to take in a game. Enjoy the shade.
Little boy's a little relaxed at this point.
That he is indeed.
Probably had some cotton candy, spun around for a while, and now taking a rest.
Well, he's letting his parents enjoy the game. Less than 60 pitches in this ball game here for Davis Martin. It's been very economical as we start this 5th inning. White Sox have won 9 of the 10 games that Davis Martin has started so far this year. Is 3-0. And a challenge from Caro.
I thought the first pitch of the at bat was actually better than this last
pitch.
pitch.
The catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Nope.
Call is confirmed. Ball 4. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
All right, a 4-pitch walk to start this 5th. It's time now for a message from Enkin Law.
I'm with Chicago shortstop Colson Montgomery. You're on his team first.
Yeah, I've always worked hard for the team rather than myself.
I get it. If you've been injured, my team is here to help. Call 312-6-million. Injury law made personal. That's Enkin Law.
Caratini, fly ball center field. As Martin gets back on track, the first out here in the 5th.
And now the man with the only hit of the day. Good solid breaking ball inside on his hands. You see it there, tight spin. Looks like it's got the plate before diving in.
One ball, 2 strikes. Missing inside, 2-2.
Travis Adams, who we saw last night, loosening up here today.
One down in the 5th inning. And this ball is drilled into right field. Nishida, he's going to have to play it off the wall. As Arcia ends at 3rd. A 1-out double for Gray, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
It's that changeup, and I don't think that Davis wanted this inside. But inside it is, and Gray turns on it. Only 1 out in the inning, a walk, a double, and the bottom part of the order with just 1 out.
So the first Twins player to reach 3rd base comes here in the 5th. And the former White Sox, Tristan Gray, the only player in this lineup to be able to figure out Davis Martin so far. Kreidler late on that swing, 0-2.
See, the third inning for Davis was labor intensive, trying not to make this one the same.
Pitch number 70. On the ground, slow roller, Colson Montgomery. The runner will score as he gets the out at first. It's now a 6-1 ball game here in the fifth. When you got a bat like Byron Buxton coming up, you just want to take the out at first and avoid having a big inning.
The leadoff walks just drew you in the major leagues. If you're going to walk the leadoff man, it's going to be really difficult to stop him from scoring, and that's what happened in this inning.
Buxton's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Martin hits his spot there, strike one. Davis Martin's going to slow down a little bit, take a little walk around and gather himself after that last pitch.
These days you just don't have much time for a longer walk, so you take a short walk and back to business. That was where Buxton likes the ball. He likes it down, but that one was a little bit lower than he would have wanted. So the full count.
Lifetime Buxton is just 1 for 11 with 6 strikeouts, including today against Davis Martin. 3-2, and Davis Martin blows him away. Strands that runner at third. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Welcome back. Bottom of the fifth. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen.
A new pitcher in the ball game, and it's a man we have seen in this series. I think we've seen most of the entire bullpen. Travis Adams on for the 7th time, the ERA an even 8.
Chase Meidroth leads things off for the White Sox. 5, 6, 7 in the order coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1, but walked and scored in that 3rd inning, where the White Sox put up 4 runs. Starting to see more and more crooked innings out of this White Sox team. 4 runs in the 3rd inning here today. They scored 5 in the 7th last night.
Well, usually what happens and what's been happening is got some guys who are fairly patient in this lineup. So in between a few hits, you're seeing a walk or two, and the Sox have been able to take advantage of that.
One-two. And this was the guy with the big blast. It was Chase Meidroth, his grand slam, the first of his career. And over his last 7 games coming into play today, he's hitting .333 with 2 home runs.
That grand slam last night came in the 7th inning, and Murakami right behind him hit one also.
Off the end of the bat, popped up shallow right field. as Bell makes the grab for out number 1. You can score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/White Sox, the official source for your Chicago White Sox gear.
For a guy who wasn't in the starting lineup, Tristan Peters has had a good day. A couple of hits, run driven in.
It's interesting how we're just a third of the way through the season, but how his game has already evolved so much. Originally, people knew him as the former Savannah Banana guy.
And the bunter.
And then it became the bunter, right? Then it became, oh, wow, this guy can run it down in center field. And now it's, oh, wait a minute, he's really starting to drive the baseball. There is that bunt. Barehand throw. Just gets Peters. A nice play at third by Lee.
That's an outstanding play by Lee. Our memorable moment presented by Prevagen. Randall Grichuk with the bases loaded, slices it down the line and drives in 3, giving him 15 for the year. He's had a good day today and a great night last night.
Brooke, what do you got on our friend Randall Grichuk?
Well, guys, a change of scenery has done wonders for him. He struggled to find consistency with the Yankees, hitting just 194 with no homers in 16 games. But since coming to Chicago, he's been on a tear, hitting 353 with 4 homers, 13 ribbies in 18 games. You know, he told me getting more consistent at-bats just allowed him to get into a rhythm. But, Steve, you know this. Sometimes just a change of scenery, it's all you need.
Well, you're right about that. And also, if your manager can instill some confidence in you, it really helps, because that's what it comes down to, especially for a veteran like Grichuk. He's seen a lot, he's been around a lot, and now getting an opportunity to show he's still got something left.
He goes down swinging as the White Sox retired in order. We close out this 5th inning, a 6-1 lead.
Miller moment. There's a lot of aspects to being a good pitcher, and one of them is being able to field your position. And what a play by Davis Martin. To his right, the bare hand, the ball's behind him. Readies himself, sets, and throws it right on the button to Murakami at first.
There's the numbers for Davis Martin today. 2 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts through 5. As he faces 2-3-4 in the order for the Twins. Calmly tosses over to Murakami at first. 1 down.
Davis has a no-hitter except for Tristan Gray. He's got both of them. Last night these Twins were held to just 3 hits, 2 home runs and a double, all extra base hits, and one of those nights where it was all Sox. It was put away fairly early in that one, but the Sox have been getting wonderful starting pitching.
This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. Flare to left field. Charging in is Antonacci, and he makes the diving catch. What an effort in left field by Sam Antonacci.
This is a routine play, except with that wind. That wind was taking it back toward the infield, and Sam came all the way back, left his feet. It seemed like he left his feet a little early, but he got the job done. Turns into a great play. And what a hustling left fielder he's become. For a lifetime second baseman, he's making a very nice transition.
Seeing some very strong wind. It's about 13 miles per hour with gusts of up to 20 miles per hour here at the ballpark.
Time for today's slide of the game, presented by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world, and there it is. An excellent effort. He angles his body just a touch, and that's the best way to stop from an injured shoulder when you dive forward.
One thing you can guarantee with these young guys.
The pitcher's throw the ball, the catcher's challenging.
First a challenge, ABS powered by T-Mobile. Does not miss by
call
much.
Is confirmed. Chicago has no more challenges remaining.
But it does miss, and the White Sox out of challenges to finish this game. Ground ball to Mydroth. Just an 8-pitch 6th inning for Davis Martin.
Today's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank. Davis Martin has been overwhelming once again today. Taylor Rogers comes out for the 24th time, ERA of 3.5. He's very valuable, very dependable left-hander out of the pen.
White Sox will go to the bench, and it'll be Derek Hill as the pinch hitter to lead off this home half of the 6th inning. He replaces Nishida. Derek Hill lifts this one to left. Larnach trots back. It'll stay in the ballpark, and one away. Join us at the ballpark this Saturday, May 30th, as the White Sox take on the Tigers at 1:10 p.m. 15,000 fans that are 21 and older will receive a Teal and Caro bobblehead presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Or you can skip the lines and secure your promo at checkout with Guaranteed Promo. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos. Back-to-back starts for Edgar Caro. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. That goes off the pitcher on the carom. Gray double clutches and still throws out Caro. And they're going to check on Taylor Rogers, as that was a hot shot off of his body.
Edgar hits it hard, but you can't control it after it leaves the bat. It's a good carom for the Twins, and apparently Rogers is going to be okay. But it does rob Caro of a base hit.
97.5 miles per hour off the bat. But Rogers says he's good. Sam Antonacci, his job to get on base with Munetaka Murakami on deck. I was going to say, after he made that diving play in left field, one of the things you can pretty much guarantee on a daily basis, his jersey will be dirty in some form, whether it be a grass stain, dirt stain. Him and Mydroth, those guys get after it.
Well, the big advantage of having a very young team is that you can instill the idea that everybody's got to be hustling each and every play.
Turns it over, and it's Bell hits the bag, but he still recovers in time to make the play. As Antonacci back to his feet, he's going to be okay.
Most unusual play by Bell, who's had an unusual series. Hits the bag, able to corral it and still touch it before Sam gets there.
Let's head down on the farm. The Charlotte Knights will play a lot of baseball today. They were suspended after 5. Hagen Smith left them in a good spot. 5 innings, just 2 runs. The 2 runs for the Knights, a 2-run shot by Corey Lee. Mason Adams will start for Winston-Salem tonight. He made his first start at affiliated ball about 5 days ago. He's working his way back from Tommy John. You saw the numbers in 2024. Guys, Mason Adams is another arm that could be in the bigs at some point this summer.
Love to see these big arms starting to get healthy in the minor leagues for the White Sox, and a new pitcher on the mound to start this 7th.
Jordan Leisure comes in the ball game in relief of Davis Martin. There you look at Jordan. 18th time he's been out there. The ERA at 6.11.
This one is drilled to right field, and the new right fielder Derek Hill will watch it hop over the fence for a double. And that's how we start this 7th inning. So that's it for Davis Martin as we take a look at this swing by Bell.
It's that slider, and that's one of the things that Jordan told me that they wanted him to work on when he went down to the minor leagues. Refining it. That one didn't do a great deal. Did one hop out of the ballpark.
How about the outing for Davis Martin? Just 2 hits, 1 run through 6, and his 8th quality start in 11 starts this season.
He's been remarkable all year long, and he's in line to get a W here if the Sox can hang on.
Leisure tasked with holding on to this 5-run lead for the White Sox in the 7th inning. Garcia sends this one to center. It is Peters adjusting with the wind for the catch.
Follow our Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
The other thing that was really impressive about Davis Martin today, only 3 of the balls put in play were hard hit. It was the 2 hits by Gray and Larnach, a ground out. That was it.
But we've talked about it a lot. If you can control Buxton, you can control the Twins. That's what Davis was able to do. He was 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. For some reason, he's never really seen Davis Martin very well. And Buxton just, for some reason, and you have pitchers like this and pitchers have hitters like this, you just don't see the ball well. 7 swings, 5 swing and misses, and 2 foul balls. So sometimes you can't pick it up. And there is the dominant player on this team. He's also one of the smartest players in the league. When he does play center field, we've seen him many times turn the game around with his glove. Forget the fact that he's one of the fastest guys around, but defensively, he's just outstanding.
Runner on at third with 1 down. 2-1 pitch to Caratini. Lines this to center. It's going to be deep enough as Bell tags from third. He will score. It's now a 6-2 ball game in the 7th inning. This was the only man to figure out Davis Martin today. Doubled in the, singled in the 3rd, and then doubled his last time up in the 5th.
Tigers will be coming to town after losing to the Angels today 7-1.
Talks about how important this week is for the White Sox. Not just how many games they have in a row, but you're playing divisional games. Coming into this series, the White Sox had only played 7 games against the division, and it was all against the Royals. Now the Twins and the Tigers come to town after this.
Well, also, it's coming off a tough road trip. You get to play at home where the Sox have played well. This is the only guy in the Twins unhappy to see Davis Martin leave the game. Tristan Gray was 2 for 2.
Leisure heading the count. Missing down and in, ball 2. In the air to right field as Hill backing up at the warning track, and he makes the leaping grab. Twins get a run. White Sox with a lead. It's time to stretch here on the south side. Your own game plan with a 10-ticket flex pack. You pick the matchups and the seats. You get total freedom, total fun. For more information, visit whitesox.com/ticket plans or call or text 312-674-1000.
Anthony Banda in the game. On for the 27th time, ERA 5.79.
Will said what's so impressive about Munetaka Murakami is that he's just raising the expectations that everybody has for him. He joked with us. He said, if he goes a couple games without hitting a home run, I got the media asking me what's going on with Murakami. It has been 3 straight games with a home run, 20 bombs here in his rookie year,
and 4 straight games with a run batted in. And that's what the Sox are looking for. They don't care if it's home runs, singles, doubles, whatever. They want him to be a big run producer because he's always 2 or 3 in this lineup.
and now he's starting to take the ball the other way. And for the first time last night, we saw him steal a base here in Major League Baseball.
Will said something interesting about that. He says it's not necessarily a steal sign, but he does have a red light and green light situation. The red light is you can't run. The green light is run if you get the jump, or you feel good, or you see something that you can take advantage of. And he said most of the time they'll have the green light.
Shows a lot of trust that he has in his guys.
I believe when the manager shows you that he has confidence in you, it makes you a better player. Doesn't matter if you're a pitcher, doesn't matter if you're a starter or a guy coming off the bench.
And Murakami, a walk to start this bottom of the 7th.
That's his second of the day to go with a double.
Let's see if he gets the red or the green light on at first base now.
Sox let the Twins get a run closer. Now they have to, or would love to, score at least one.
High in the air to right field. Clemens with the grab, one away. It's been fun to watch when Colson Montgomery gets a little off track this season. As he slices this one down the line, out of play, foul. He finds a way to just get him back to what got him success the second half of last year and to start the season here this year.
Well, he's also driving in a lot of runs, including one today, giving him 34 for the year.
And Will Venable said when he's having success, he's seeing him drive that ball, take it back up through the middle. That's what he feels like the best version of him at the plate looks like.
Well, that's what he told me about his hitting against the left-hander. It's always a front shoulder, but he says he's just trying to hit the ball straight away center field. Wherever it goes, but that's his thought process against the lefties.
Brooke, what else do you have here on Colson?
Well, Steve, it's funny that you mentioned the step forward he's had against left-handed pitching, because he's already matched last year's home run total against lefties with 4 this season and owns a .956 OPS over his last 10 plate appearances against them. So like you said, Will said he's just been able to use the whole field, just a sign he's maturing as a hitter.
Taking another step forward here in his sophomore season.
Brooke, the great part about it is it's not only swinging the bat. Played third base last night, but he's shown us that he's a very comfortable shortstop. It looks like he just eases his way to the ball, never seems rushed, even with a fast guy going down the line, then makes a good solid throw. It's usually not near the hardest throw until he really has to, and then he shows you he's got a great arm. So he's emerging as one of the best players around, and you can only imagine he's still a very young player. And if he takes the steps forward he has from last year to this, from this year to next, he's really going to be something special.
Hit hard into right field. Well, Clemens got a good jump on that one to make the catch for out number 2. Part of the growth we're seeing from a lot of these young hitters, Colson Montgomery, Chase Mydroth, who steps up, is how to even take care of your body. They're understanding that over the course of a long season, you have to go make sure you get ice and take care of yourself, but also the calories and keeping the weight on, because you will lose weight throughout the course of a very long season. I wish I had that problem. I'm the other way.
The pitch was ruled a ball. The catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Caratini says, look good to me, but it's just off the plate.
The call is confirmed. Minnesota is out of challenges.
Boy, that one's really close.
Remember those days where you could just eat whatever you wanted? Didn't matter.
Yeah, I was
Check
too.
that. Sorry. Minnesota has 1 challenge remaining. They are not out of challenges.
I remember those days.
There goes Murakami, the throw to second, and they got him. That's how we close out this 7th inning. Sox with a 4-run lead. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. I just started playing slots recently. I was always a table guy, but I started playing slots.
You winning?
The Frankenstein game. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Got a new pitcher.
First pitch lifted in the air to left field, and Tanachi calling for it. 1 away as we start this 8th inning.
Davis has done a nice job out of the bullpen. On for the 14th time. The ERA a touch below 3.5. And 1 pitch, 1 out. You can't do much better than that. He takes over from Jordan Leisure, who took over from Davis Martin.
Think about this stretch of starters we have seen so far this series. Anthony Kay, Sean Burke, Last night it was the big league debut of David Sandlin, and then Davis Martin. 4 incredible starts here against the Twins. As Byron Buxton will come up with his first hit today. Join us Saturday, June 13th for Sox Crawl Fiesta on 35th Street, presented by Tres Agaves. You can enjoy an exclusive pregame crawl inside the stadium with special $5 menu items. You get a photo opportunity with Ozzie Guillen and entertainment and more. Plus, receive a Colson Montgomery bobblehead presented by Rate. Now, fans, you must be 21 years and older to attend. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/crawl.
That was a heads-up move by Davis because he saw that Buxton was walking off the bag, not paying a great deal of attention, but he got his attention by going over there quickly, and he just missed him at first.
Brooks Lee is 0 for 3 today. All 3 have been ground outs. White Sox need 5 more outs to wrap up a series win here against the Twins. Inside corner, strike 2 to Brooks Lee. Ground ball, Mydroth bobbles, recovers, but not in time to get Lee. Everybody's safe.
Chase, I think, was looking at second to see if he could turn a double play. He's unhappy with himself. He was thinking about 2 before he got 1. Ball trickles away, and then Lee hustling the first. No call yet on a hit or an error. It is E4.
So a couple of base runners now, as Trevor Larnach steps in 0 for 3 so far today.
Starters this series for the Sox, a 1.80 ERA over 4 games. And they did it with a lot of control. Just 5 walks, 22 strikeouts, and opponent's batting average at 167. That'll get the job done. But now it's up to the bullpen to shut him down. Grant Taylor, as Will doesn't want this one to get away.
Ground ball, but foul. Once this became a 4-run ball game, Will Venable deciding not to mess around, getting one of his big arms up in the bullpen. Got him upstairs. Big heater from Tyler Davis.
He went to the high heat and just threw it by him. Very tardy on this swing. But now you got a guy up who's been probably the best lately of all of these hitters. That's Cody Clemens.
Clemens hits it all down the line, but just foul.
Well, that scores a pair and makes this a really tight game if it's just a couple of inches to the left of where it hit. Well, this one didn't miss by much, but fortunately it did.
Fifth year in Major League Baseball for Clemens as he is starting to find his stride here with the Twins. If you're Davis here, what are you doing here in this 0-2 count?
Well, he went to the high fastball, which was very effective against Larnach. I'm thinking some sort of breaking ball, change up away if he's got a good one of those.
First and second with 2 outs in this 8th inning. 0-2. Got him swinging. Tyler Davis fired up, back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the jam.
Coming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places, and we're going to stay right here. The Tigers coming to town for 3, and then it's off to Minneapolis. We see these same Twins before the off day on Thursday, and the Sox find themselves in Philadelphia to face the Phillies, who are starting to hit the baseball.
Bottom of the 8th, White Sox a 6-2 lead over the Twins, leading this series 2-1 here in this 4th and final game.
Former Sox pitcher Yuendrys Gomez on for the Twins. On for the 20th time is the ERA of 4.5. We've become very familiar with the Twins bullpen in this series. Sox bats have been booming, and we've seen a lot of pensmen.
He's the 6th pitcher used by the Twins in this ball game today. A lot of moves by Derek Shelton. To the count here to Chase Mydroth, starting off this home half of the 8th inning.
You know, it's such a game of subtleties because you can do a lot of things right, as the Sox have done today. And but for a line drive which went maybe an inch and a half to the foul side, this is a 6-4 game with a runner in scoring position and still a wide open game late. As it turns out, it's a foul ball off the bat of Clemens, and completely different game. You feel a little more comfortable with a 4-run lead and just 3 outs to get.
I mean, you could see the emotion from Tyler Davis coming off the mound. He knew how big of a swing that was, from a potential double to a strikeout.
Will didn't want to go to Grant Taylor there. There's no doubt about that.
2-2, another one fouled away by Mydroth.
Nice job of staying alive here by Chase. Zach Bove going over a lot of what happened last inning. It's a constant game of adjustment and readjustment.
And eventually Mydroth goes down swinging, first out here in this 8th inning. Pretty cool piece of history today. On this day 75 years ago, the late great Willie Mays hit his first of 660 major league home runs. It happened back at the old Polo Grounds in Upper Manhattan in Harlem, and it was a shot off of Warren Spahn. And Warren Spahn, a famous quote after the game when they asked him about that home run. First here is Tristan Peters, delivers a single into right field. Spahn said, for the first 60 feet, it was a hell of a pitch.
Well, he didn't know at that point how good Willie was going to go on to be, and he was my center fielder when I got to the major leagues. And there was one play that was astonishing. He was not as tall as Bobby Bonds, who was playing right field. There was a drive in Old Candlestick Park, and it looked like neither guy would get to it, but they both collided at the wall in right center field. And although Willie was probably 2.5 inches shorter, you could see his glove, a whole glove, higher than Bonds, and he made the catch. They were both plastered against the wall, and somebody memorialized it with a great picture at the exact moment they both hit the wall, and there was Willie's glove. You know, he was 39 years old when I got to San Francisco, still the best center fielder in the game at 39. And one thing, he never dove. He never dove for anything. He pretty much felt that if he couldn't get to it, it shouldn't be gotten to.
The Say Hey Kid unfortunately passed away in 2024 at the age of 93.
Grant Taylor, Trevor Richards.
Two balls and a strike here to Randall Grichuk. On the ground, left side, it is Gray. And they do get the lead runner at second, as the second base umpire, Adam Beck, says it was on the transfer, so it was in the glove long enough to record the out.
This is a good solid play, and they just barely get him, and you see it is on the transfer.
Second at bat for Derek Hill after pinch hitting back in the 6th and flying out to left field.
And a clear illustration of you have to be ready each and every day because you never really know what's going to happen. The Twins scratched their starter. Tristan Peters was not supposed to play. All he did was come in today, drove in a run, scored one, and went 3 for 4.
Fastball in there, strike 2 to Hill. Another home for Yuendrys Gomez. He has pitched well so far in this series for the Twins. Two. Got him swinging, strike 3. We will go to the 9th with some energy from the fans. Sun is out, the shirts are off. White Sox fans bringing the energy. 9th inning, White Sox a 4-run lead. Thursday afternoon here on the south side of Chicago, and the White Sox need 3 more outs to wrap this one up.
And there's Grant Taylor. He comes on for the 22nd time, ERA of 2.36. So if the Sox had scored, it was probably going to be Richards. They did not. It's Grant Taylor. He's only given up 1 earned run at home this year, and A snappy inning here would be much to the delight of not only the fans who showed up and been very enthusiastic today, but Will and his staff, as the Tigers coming to town tomorrow.
Crowd here today, 14,194.
And Grant doing some house cleaning around his mound. The reason is that he's the last guy in the game. There's been a lot of pitchers before him, and so got to make sure that your landing spot is to your liking.
Josh Bell doubled and scored back in the 7th. Fly ball left field, and Tanachi moving to his right. One away. As you reflect on this 4-game set here against the Twins, what's the big takeaway for you the way the White Sox are playing?
Well, I think the trend was set with starting pitching. Each and every day the starter was just outstanding. When you get that, you save your bullpen, and you have guys like Grant Taylor who can come in situations where you want him to, and he's entirely healthy and ready to go. That was the key with the starters. Also, when you have good starters, you're not pressing as much as hitters, because you get a couple of runs here, you scratch across a few, and next thing you know, you got substantial enough leads to make it hold up. And so this is the way the White Sox team was designed. Score some runs in a lot of different ways. You always have the power that's sitting there. The power has been good this series. It'll get better as things move along a bit. The wind was blowing in most of the series, and this is a very small ballpark when the wind blows out or there's no wind at all.
We're also seeing White Sox putting it all together at the same time, right? Good starting pitching. The bullpen has been great, and the offense has come through in some key situations. Needing 2 more outs here today as that pitch fouled away by Arcia. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Taylor. Blew it by him at 99.
There's a 4-seam fastball upstairs. They tell you it's an illusion that the ball actually rises. Tell that to the hitters.
You know who is rising? The fans here at the rate. Breaking ball drops in, strike 1 to Caratini. I think that's when you know things are different. These midweek games, you feel the energy that we haven't felt in the last few years.
No, the team is substantially better. There's no doubt about that, and they're just an exciting bunch.
Little man's loving it. On the ground and past the dive of Mydroth. As Caratini will extend this game with a 2-out single in the 9th. Also love the response. White Sox went 2-4 on that West Coast trip. Did not have plenty of sleep. But then they come back with a lot of effort and energy here at home. Broken bat, floater into left field, and Antonacci gets there for the grab. That's going to wrap this one up. The White Sox with a 6-2 win over the Twins, and will take this 4-game series 3-1.
Just a lot of good things in this series for the Sox. They won 9 of their last 10 against these Twins. They got to see them 3 more times in Minneapolis. But a good series it was. Everybody very happy with this one. And get your rest. Tigers come to town tomorrow for a 3-game series, and then it's off to Minneapolis.
White Sox are playing really good baseball at home. In their last 16 games here at the rate, they are 13-3. Come on out and support this squad this weekend against the Tigers. For Connor McKnight, Brooke Fletcher, my guy Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. Thanks for spending your Thursday afternoon with us. White Sox a winner, 6-2 over the Twins. White Sox postgame live presented by Yuengling comes your way after the break.